Hey, beautiful people, I'm back with you. A little later than I thought, but you know what? I'm almost through my challenge that I made to myself for being able to post live every day, and I am not about to miss a day. So, today I want to give you my 5 point formula that I created for making really catchy, small, but powerful posts that you can use on LinkedIn or social media. You could put it on Facebook, Instagram. You could also use it as kind of an outline for how you might do a video script. And so let's dig into how this small but mighty formula works really well, and that possibly you can emulate it and use it for yourself. So the first thing I want to show you is how it is laid out. So let's take a look. So here we go. This is my 5 point formula, Tina's famous 5 point formula. And so I just did a sample post as if I were using it. So let's take a look. So the first point is the name point, I'll call it. And so for our example, we have ChatGPT, the harmonizer of human hearts and digital bytes. And so it's just kind of think of it like a little headline, right? And next on the page, we have brief description. ChatGPT becomes a beautiful tool when it's used to weave connections through time, stimulate conversations, and bridge the emotional distance between people and technology. And so we have our name point, and now we have our brief description. And actually, I should add point right here to make this consistent. Let me just, if I can do this without messing up, there we go. Our brief description point is what we're looking at right now. And then the third point is going to be our story illustrating point. So we're going to tell a little story on this point. And so here's the little story. Picture Dean, a therapist who uses ChatGPT to manage client check-ins. Instead of automated reminders, his ChatGPT sends personalized messages that echo his own compassionate tone. Clients feel seen even before they walk into a session. Suddenly, ChatGPT becomes more than an AI. It's an extension of Sam's heart. And I have a different name here. So let's just fix that. I just realized I had a last minute change of art for the name. So Dean's art into the digital realm, reverberating through time and space. Working live. You never know when these surprises are going to happen. Okay, so our point 4 of my 5 point formula is a metaphor demonstrating point. And so we're going to use a metaphor. Imagine ChatGPT as the strings of a grand piano. Alone, they can only produce sound. Together, they create music. When we listen to the individual conversations and attune ChatGPT accordingly, we become word musicians, orchestrating the music of the soul that transcends the mechanical into the magical. Very true. And then we go on to our 5th point, which is our one-liner capturing point. So we're always going to end with one punchy line. And so in this, and you can make it up with you're making up your own. You could use a quote, but you can put quote marks on it and make it your own. And this is another way to differentiate yourself, and also position from a place of authority that you are worthy of quoting. And so in this one-liner, we have, in the hands of a word musician, ChatGPT becomes the sheet music for a symphony of authentic connection. And so there are the 5 points: name point, brief description point, story illustrating point, metaphor demonstrating point, and one-liner capturing point. Okay, so why does this work? Why is it so powerful? And of course, when we're using it, we wouldn't have the purple highlights telling you what those 5 points are, right? So let's take a look. And I'm torn between leaving this on so you can see it and going to let's talk about why this works. Why does this work? Well, the first thing is the strategy behind it. Okay, so strategy number 1, it's a clear framework. It's very clear. It's easy for people to understand. It's easy to write, really, when you just give it a little bit of thought. So we have a clear framework, and it's straightforward. It's logical. It makes it easy to digest the information, and kind of like a little. Actually, I had a banner for that. Logical sequence, easy to digest, kind of like a mini course. It's like a little small lesson packed into a small package. Next is the narrative and data combo. And that is by incorporating a story, you're hitting both the emotional side of the brain, and with that brief description, and the one-liner goes to more of a factual or analytical side. So you're hitting both kind of the one-liner is factual, the story was the emotion. And so you're kind of hitting the why and the how at the same time, just in a really condensed way. The third is a metaphor for depth. And so we had our fifth point with the metaphor. And the reason we want to use a metaphor is because they're easy to remember. They're emotional. They tap into our emotional understanding and just kind of makes a point that's easy to remember. And number 4 is a snappy one-liner. Now remember, this is the strategy part of all this. And so that snappy one-liner becomes a sticky idea. It's memorable. It's a takeaway. It's some people call it a writer downer. It's shareable, that type of a thing. And you can make your own, and think about how you can use that in social media. You can have your own quote cards of things that you've said with your post. Now let's take a look at the psychology of this, the psychological side of why does this work? Well, the first one is a curiosity gap. And what do I mean by that? That one-liner that we start with it's like a tease. It's a hook. It's, we're reeling someone in. It's like a little headline. So you want to think of it in that way, that it's going to create that curiosity. Second is cognitive ease. Now, when we tell a brief story, it engages the autopilot part of our brain. That's not the technical term for it, but that's what it is. And so that equals fast, easy, emotional part of our brain. And it's engaged immediately when we do this. The third point is emotional resonance. So that we're tapping into that, because the story taps into empathy. It engages emotionally. And again, it gets our emotions going. And, people do things because they feel like doing things, because there's an emotional response to whatever the thing is that they're responding to. And 4 is our conceptual bridging. With that, the metaphor serves as a really just a cognitive bridge in our brain. It makes that bridge between a complex idea into something that's easy to grasp and familiar and memorable. And so it connects us that way when we bridge the gap. And also the metaphor serves as that cognitive bridge. As I just said, I'm a little behind on my own clicking here. I've got so many things happening at the same time, but it makes the ideas easier when it's tied to something familiar. And so, we're talking about a therapist reaching out to their clients, that type of thing. A lot of people have had that experience of one way or another, of appointments with whatever practitioner they might be working with. So we can relate to that. And then 5 is, the final one is the memory anchor. And that's what that one-liner is at the bottom. It's like an anchor that's going to give you better retention of the message. People will read it and remember that more distinctly because it stands alone, standing out there as that quote. And that's why this works. So I hope this, your 5-point formula is something that you will find helpful. And just try it. Just try breaking down what you're going to write to cover these 5 points, kind of like a little template for how you do this, and see how much more effective it can be when you want to just hit nice punchy short message. A lot of times people say, oh, short copy is so easy to write. Not necessarily, but when we break it into these 5 points, that can make it a lot easier for us to be able to accomplish that. And hey, remember, ChatGPT can be your collaborator, your writing buddy, your assistant, and any of these things. And so I encourage you to give that a try if you haven't yet. Now, I just want to say I've gotten such great feedback for all of this. And let me just turn off my little last banner here. I really want to thank all of you that have been writing to me privately and reaching out to me and saying, thank you for these videos, because we have people saying, I've tried this step and I tried this one with ChatGPT and I'm putting this one into action. And that just makes me really just feel very happy and thankful to be able to impact lives in any way whatsoever. And a small tip that turns into something you actually do. Someone posted the other day, she got a job from taking one of the tips I gave in one of the first ChatGPT quick tips. She implemented it. She submitted an idea for a blog post. The company said, yes, we like it. And she did it based on what I taught in that video. And she wrote to me to thank me for that. And so I love that. And I've had someone else connect with me that has been temporarily disabled because of an auto accident, and they're using all of these things to start building out what they could do to get going with a different direction online. So thank you for your feedback. And I hope that it's helping to clarify for you what's possible. And yeah, this is, the total transparency of it all. My friend Frank Kern said, show people you can help them by actually helping them. That has been my intention all the way, will continue to be my intention. And there is kind of honestly, I hope you're feeling like, wow, this is what we get for free. What in the heck's it like when we work with her? because there's so much more. I have to kind of rein myself in because there's so much I can be teaching you. So my last point on this is, let's connect. If there's any way I can help you, I'm going to reopen my Cashflow Copywriting Challenge. I'm adding ChatGPT to the mix. So we're going to reboot that whole entire challenge. It's been very, very popular. And I have other ways that I can work with you. I have VIP days. There's so many different ways that we can work together. If there's something I can help you with where you're at in your business that you want to move forward, or you're having some place that you're feeling a little bogged down or a little confused, or you want more one-on-one help with specifically how ChatGPT could work for you with your business and your messaging, I'm the one to reach out to. So all you have to do is reach out to me here, or on my LinkedIn page or my websites, and I'm happy to have that conversation with you. Tomorrow is day 31 of my self-imposed video challenge. I pretty much worn my voice out doing this, and I am saying I'm kind of looking forward to tomorrow to give myself a little break here before we come up on our major holiday here in the US. But I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and I want to go through some points with you about what it's like to set a challenge for yourself and to honor that commitment to yourself. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. Thanks again for being here. This is Tina Lorenz. I hope this has been helpful. Like I said, I think I probably said that at least 5 times, but because I do. And I will be here tomorrow. So I'll see you then. Have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye for now.